Hello everyone, how are you doing?
Hello, my beautiful people. I hope you're doing so well. This is just your reminder that if you need support as a healer or looking to advance your gifts at all, I have so many options in the description below. I would love to connect and work with you.
I hope you're doing so well. It's your girl Holly Renee, the founder of Home for the Healer, where I support you as you support so many. And today we are in my backyard. We're in a different space. Look, I got this cool little microphone. Shout out to Vivian for letting me borrow it to film videos. And now I know I need to invest in one because I have been like wanting to make videos outside for so long, but I live kind of on like a loud street. And so I was like, I can't. So that's all you can hear is outside. But now I think I might have a solution. So anyways, hi, that's not why you're here. I'm super excited though to be able to bring you this message, being outside in nature. And today I'm just going to give you a channeled message that kind of wants to come through. I'm allowing the divine to kind of be the giver of whatever it is that kind of is meant to be seen and heard. If you resonate with this, you will take what resonates, obviously leave what doesn't. Some of you are focusing too much on what other people see and expecting certain results from that process. So there's this message about putting your trust and faith in other things other than the divine and other than the plan, other than what is meant for you. And when you do this, you cut yourself off from the flow of receiving what it is that you really, really want. So you're focusing on things that maybe don't necessarily matter, or maybe they do matter. They do matter. Okay, the divine is like changing this here, because it's not that what you're doing doesn't matter. It's that what you're doing is like you're doing the thing, but then you're focusing too heavily on it. That's all you're focusing on. That's all you're caring about. And so what they're trying to get you to understand is this pulling back. And I did a reading earlier today, was about receiving. That's like the way the message went. And then it like fired me up. And so then I taught a whole masterclass about it in my membership, about the art of receiving. And I feel like this energy, this motion, this message is also being brought into this here of like, I'm hearing redirecting and realigning yourself into a position to be able to receive in a way that actually feels good to your heart and to your soul. Not just on an aesthetic, not just in an aesthetic way. Does that make sense for some of you? Your abilities to expand are being shrunk because of where your energy is focusing. When you have intention to do something, you do the thing, but then it's almost like you then obsess over it rather than letting it kind of happen. It's kind of like the idea of planting a seed and then obsessing over to make sure that it's growing. So you just like re-dig it up, right? Like, what's the point of that? That's just going to affect what you've already done. It'll just affect the growth that's happening under the surface that you cannot see. And so some of you have to understand that it's not just the external validation that what you're doing is working. It's also the internal validation. The divine is trying to show you that it is helping you feel in your power and helping you move forward on the back end. So that way, when the external world reflects that, you appreciate it so much more. Some of you are moving in a time in your life right now, a trying time is what I'm hearing, a trying time. And you might have felt victim to this time for a long time. And now you're starting to understand, or you're going to begin to understand why this has happened. And I feel like it's important that I'm bringing up the fact that the things that you've gone through have really been kind of out of your control. It's not to say that you didn't have any responsibility in whatever's going on. However, there's a lot that's been out of your control, and it's for purpose. Instead of falling into the victim of life is happening to me, the divine is asking you to honor that aspect of you, because that still needs to be seen, okay? While also stepping as the observer to say, what am I mastering? Because some of you are in a place of mastery right now. You're being asked to master these aspects of your life that are becoming so turbulent, that are becoming so loud that you literally can't not look at them. I'm getting like Saturn return vibes. I'm totally in my Saturn return right now. And so if you are, Or if you feel like Saturn is just like bringing some things into your life that's forcing you to look at your shit. I'm not a huge astrology person. I'm really not. So I'm not one to be like, this is what Saturn means. Like, you'll have to go look that up yourself. This is not the place. But what I do know about Saturn is that it is the ruler, one of the things about Saturn, the ruler of karma, good and bad. And it's kind of like that disciplinary parent that kind of forces you to learn a lesson. And sometimes it's not like the easiest thing ever. And so that's the vibes that I'm getting, whether you're in your Saturn return or whether it's even Saturn at all. It's almost like this vibe of like you're forced to learn something. And for some of you, it's feeling a bit difficult because of your resistance to what it is and your resistance to change. And you might not even realize that you're resisting yourself to change. You're resisting the experience that it's being brought to you. And really what's happening is it's heightening and expanding and highlighting your wounding. And this is not punishment. That's what I keep hearing. This is not punishment. This was never to keep you from having the things that you want. You're protected. You've been protected. You will continue to be protected through this process. We don't go through initiations. The universe doesn't throw us into initiations and then just like be like, too bad, right? Figure it out. I mean, sometimes it feels that way, but know that every single time the universe still has its hand under the water just in case you start to drown to pull you up, right? Like, that saying that you'll never get more than you can handle is true. Sometimes in life it feels like I can't handle anymore, but guess what? You're here, right? You made it. So you can, is moral of the story. Also, I just can't stop thinking about the fact that at any point, a giant animal, bug, I mean, could come and crawl and just get me. Oh my God. Okay. So when we begin to focus on the truth of the divine, the truth in ourselves, the truth in the who am I, what can I do, how can I experience it, right? Something's happening with the lighting. I don't know what's going on. Help me. Okay, there we go. You have to tap into that. But how can you tap into the higher truth of who you are if you're not aware of what that is? And some of you are walking through life believing the human truth that's been told to you, and you're living in that life instead of living the story of what the divine truth is for you. The divine's truth for you and your human's truth for you are very, very different. People your whole life have been telling you what's true, who you are, what to do, how to act. And instead of standing up in your power and saying, no, that's not who I am, no, that's not what I want to do, you might have found yourself conforming to those thoughts and beliefs because it's all been subconscious. And now the divine is like, this is your opportunity to align to the highest truth of who you are, to align to the highest and best of what you are, of what your higher self is, what your purpose is, what your mission is, what the divine has for you. And in every moment that you do that, you step further into your light. You step further away from the truths that have been told to you that just are keeping you in a place of stagnancy. So many of you are still in a stagnant void space where you're like, I'm just here. No, you don't have to be there. You're believing that you're meant to be there, when in reality, the divine is like, let me show you. Ask deeper questions. You must ask deeper questions of what is going on in your reality so that you can make yourself out of it. How can you experience a different life if you don't ask? It's like going into a job and not knowing how to do the job, but you refuse to ask someone how to do it. That's literally what's going on right now. You are walking this path. A lot of you are spiritual healers, but if you don't resonate with that, this message can still apply to you. You're walking in your path and you have questions about why certain things are happening. Why is this happening in my life? Why does this person treat me like this? Why do I feel drained after I leave this hanging out with this person? Why does this person not call me? Why am I don't feel inclined to reach out to this person? Why do I keep doing XYZ even though I know it hurts me? Why do I keep going back to that addiction? Why do I keep going back to the drink? Why do I keep going back to old ways? Why do I keep staying with this person who treats me horribly? Why do I keep settling for this life? But instead of asking those questions to the divine who could give you all of the answers and give you all the guidance to make your way out of that story, you fall victim to the story. And the divine is inviting you here today. If you're watching this, I really want you to tap in and really feel this message. Allow the divine to be your navigator. Allow the divine to be that boss of the job that knows everything that it could know. You cannot keep going on in this job having no idea how to actually do the job and think that it's going to go well. Eventually, your boss is going to come over and be like, hey, you haven't gotten anything done. You're fired. Or your boss is going to be like, I'm so sorry, but like, what are you doing? You have to ask. And this goes back to the art of receiving. Okay, the divine is bringing it full circle. Preach, baby, preach. The divine is like, you're not open to receiving in any way, much less being open to receive the guidance from me. When you don't feel worthy of love, when you don't feel worthy of something different than what you've experienced, you get accustomed to the chaos. You get accustomed to the abuse. You get accustomed to the way of being. It's easier to stay stagnant than it is to change, and I get it. And the way that you do it is by calling upon the divine. I am a living, breathing testimony of what it means to be in literal hell on earth in every aspect of your life, and choosing to ask the divine, how do I get out of this? Why am I experiencing this? Why is this happening to me? I still have things in my life that I've been asking, what do I need to do to get out of this? But I've been mastering it. I've been understanding it so that way I can lead anyone else. Some of you, you're not meant to lead other people. You're just meant to do this so you can lead yourself. What if your purpose, what if your destiny is to choose you? What if your purpose, what if your destiny is to choose the divine? You are worthy of receiving a life that feels at ease. You are worthy of receiving and having a business that's flourishing. You are worthy and of receiving love and joy and prosperity and peace and monetary gain and financial freedom and happiness. Anything that is telling you you are not is not of the highest light. You can call it the devil, you can call it the ego, you can call it your shadow, you can call it whatever you want, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't be listening to it. I have learned far too much in this life that if I listen to those things, it'll derail me. So as soon as those thoughts come in, I immediately call upon the light. Call upon the divine. Show me what my actual story is. Show me what my real truth is. Show me who I am. And instead of living in this story that's not actually my truth, I live in the power of the divine and my light and where my highest and best is. And then I speak that over my life. And that's how I've shifted so much of who I am. That's how I've been so receptive to receiving from the divine. I'm so receptive to receiving the blessings that are brought to me, not just monetarily, not just in love, not just in time, not just in energy, but in all things. And the more you feel that feeling, the more you call more into it. And as much as me, the human, and the divine sees you and witnesses you and has so much compassion for what you're going through and the life that you've led up until this point, me, Holly, now the human, is going to bring this tough love truth that you are the only one that can change this story. You are the only one that can choose you. You are the only one that can choose the divine to bring you up and out of this. Some of you are going through things that you have no idea how the fuck you're going to get out. You don't know how you're going to do it. It feels so much easier to stay where you are. It feels so much easier to go to the bottle. It feels so much easier to just give in, to just be quiet, to not stand up for yourself, to keep getting the paycheck. And logically, it might not make sense, right? But when you start tuning into the divine and allowing the divine to handle it for you, all you have to do is listen and then take the steps forward. That's it. That's all the divine asks you to do, is use your free will choice to make the steps forward, and the divine will handle the rest. Yeah, it may look like chaos and turmoil, but when does change not look like that? Nobody can force you to choose yourself. Nobody can force you to choose to receive. Nobody can force you to see your worthiness. Nobody can force you to see that you're miserable. You can deny it if you want, but some of you are really going through it right now, but you're choosing to stay in it because it feels easier. And again, from a human perspective, I get it. I get it. It is not easy to change. I get it. And so does the divine. This is not like a you're punished or you're doing this wrong. It's an encouragement to know that there is a way out. There is a way to see. There is light at the end of the tunnel. And this is the light. This video is the light I'm hearing. Some of you I'm really speaking to really step into your power, step into your divinity, step into your truth, step into your highest outcome, and start living from that place, okay? All right, I gotta go. I love you so much. The divine loves you and is supporting you, and that's why you're watching this today. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna work out. In fact, I am commanding here and now that all things that you're moving through is touched by the grace and compassion of the divine, and that you are moved through it quickly with ease and flow for the highest and best of everyone concerned. I pray blessing and truth and prosperity and awareness of the abundance that surrounds you now and the ability to move out of where you are. All right. I love you. Talk to you soon.
Oh my gosh, as always, it's such an honor to connect with each and every one of you. I just want you to know I'm praying for you. I'm holding space for you. I love you. If you need anything, we are here to support you. Comment down below. Let us know how this went, and I will see you in the next one.